Hi friends, we're back today, Destination Baby and Kids, here to talk about two awesome single to double stroller options. Now, neither one of these is brand new, but all the videos I've seen online really fail to highlight the primary difference between them as single to double functionality. So I want to make sure today that we go over that because this is primarily a tool for people that want to come in and see the strollers and have a little bit of sense of them before they come in. So, UppaBaby Vista and NUNA Demi Grow. Both excellent choices. Biggest difference is going to be this one is $10.99. This one will come, and this is the UppaBaby. It comes with a bassinet. So the biggest reason that it includes it is because when you recline either one of these strollers, the recline is what's referred to as tilt in space, meaning the whole seat tilts. There isn't a perfectly flat surface for a newborn to lie. So you can purchase a separate bassinet here. Here it's included in the cost. So price point on UppaBaby is going to be $1,100 and price point on NUNA is $899, so $900. Personally, I like that. I live in the Bay Area, so for us space is really tight. And we generally get a lot of people asking if they can purchase the Vista without the bassinet. So I think there's some value to having that be a separate purchase versus an all-inclusive purchase. That being said, both strollers have massive baskets, meaning that underneath the storage when they're for single is really, really good. I will give the benefit of a better feature-heavy seat to NUNA. And what I mean by that is this seat has more features. So it includes a removable liner that's fully washable. And when you take the liner out, you have a mesh backing for the seat. So if it's very, very hot out, this is going to enable air for the child to have cooling breathability. The other thing that I really like with this guy versus this guy is the foot plate is the single hand adjustment. On UppaBaby, I have to always use two hands to get the foot plate to come up and down. So it's a really minor thing, but it's something that, like, as an auntie and as a nanny, I would definitely see myself doing. So a more feature-heavy seat. Both seats have peekaboo windows on the product, and both of them have ventilation on those windows, although, again, NUNA is going to have the better ventilated seat option, as well as both of them having additional sunshade. So we see both seats have really good sunshade for big kids. Again, super important feature. They're going to get the most sun damage the first 2 years of their lives. So anytime we can put a good sunshade on them, we would encourage that. Benefit of UppaBaby is that you do have the ability to raise the headrest to get a little more head clearance. That's certainly a nice feature. NUNA, the way that that piece attaches on, there's no ability to raise and lower that, so the headpiece is where it is. Each product holds 50 pounds per seat, although this guy might be 55. I'd have to double check. Let's just say 50 for now. What I will say is that when we start using this as a double, the UppaBaby certainly has a lower weight capacity for two children as a double stroller, meaning that when we use this one as a double stroller, each seat will hold 50 pounds. When we turn the UppaBaby into a double, the second seat does not hold the same weight as the first seat. The other thing is that there's additional purchases that you have to make here in order to turn it into a double stroller. If we're gonna buy this guy, it comes with everything in the box to make this stroller work for two, aside from the car seat. Both companies, you would buy the car seat separately, and they are assuming that you are making that purchase separately. So if we remove the main seats, I'm going to put the same car seat on both. I'm electing to use a NUNA to show this because we sell more NUNA car seats with both of these strollers than we do UppaBaby car seat. So that is that guy. There's a pretty broad variety of adapters. There's actually 3 different sets that you can get that'll work for this one with the NUNA car seat. I'm using the one that UppaBaby makes, the newest set. So they both click on, which is great. So You have your 0 to 12 month, and then once they're beyond 12 months, they're actually sitting in the stroller seat that the strollers came with. Now, when you're pregnant with your next child and you have, let's say, a 2-year-old, how is that going to work with a newborn? Demi Grow is going to give you 2 separate choices out of the box, meaning we can leave it as is, adjust the basket, which is what I'm doing right now, and take the stroller seat that was included with the purchase and simply attach it directly onto the frame. So now I have a double. This is generally the way I see my customers using this. It's hard to envision children enjoying sitting down here. The best analogy I can give is the station wagon with the backward seat. We used to beat each other up to sit in that seat. Now it would make me absolutely car sick. But children like different things. They like the ability generally to climb in and out on their own. And if you do crouch down, you'll see that they do have a pretty good field of vision. If you have a 2-year-old, let's say, that hates the idea of change or they're having regression, the nice part about this stroller is that you could also do the reverse. So it includes the main seat, which will sit at either position. So if the 2-year-old's used to sitting up here, being the star of the show, they can remain there. And then there's a separate set of adapters, which are included, that go on the bottom. So you can have your little baby down low. They're able to look up at you because, you know, they're a newborn, they don't really care that much. And then your 2 or 3-year-old is still able to see out at the world. The other thing that I really like about this is that I never have to reverse this seat in order to have the seat recline. Because if the child falls asleep, I'm not going to take them out of the stroller, lay them down, turn the seat around to recline it, which will be necessary on any other single to double that doesn't utilize what's referred to as stadium seating, or inline double like this. All the other doubles will use stadium seating, and with stadium seating, the physics prevents you from being able to recline the seats in a forward-facing mode, and I will show you what that means. So I love this for the fact that the kids feel very, very contained on top of the stroller. If we look at the UppaBaby, when we turn it into a double, what's very tempting is to think that we would buy a separate set of pieces that go down there. And the seat that the stroller came with would be the one that would clip onto the front. It 100% does not. You are required to purchase a secondary seat. So let me show you what that looks like. This is called the rumble seat. Can you make sure that both of these seats are visible? And if you look, I'm going to hold them where the bars are ideally equivalent. You'll see that the rumble seat is significantly smaller than the main seat. The rumble seat has the rumble seat adapters. That's what's sitting in the seat. Those are included with the purchase. But it's 100% not the main seat that it comes with that attaches onto the front. And there is no ability, no matter what you do, there's no hack to make this seat fit on the front of the stroller. So it's not just like buying additional pieces. We can cheat it to get it to do what we want it to do. Whomever sits in the front position of this guy can only be 33 pounds. And also, I think it might be hard asking a child that's sitting in a big, spacious seat that fits them and accommodates them to suddenly move to a position on the bottom of the stroller and move into a smaller seat. So the argument from customers here is generally, this would be the preferred position for the child to sit. My thing is kids kind of get used to whatever you give them. So if they don't know any different, they'll be fine with whatever you give them. Some of the difficulties that come with the stadium seating that you see here is one thing that I talked about earlier, which is if we put 2 big kids on here simultaneously, they won't be able to recline unless the seats are facing mom and dad. And I just don't think that's particularly practical. Typically you would use upper adapters as well, but this is just quickly to see the physics of this prevents these seats from being able to recline. So even with upper adapters, we're not going to be able to do that. What they would tell you to do is to turn the seats to face mom and dad, and then both seats will have complete recline, which is true. But if they zonk out on a walk, are you going to take the kids out, lay them down on the ground, and then turn the seat around? Because you're not supposed to turn the seat with the children still sitting in the seat. So to me, that can sort of be problematic. Additionally, from a physics standpoint, we have two dolls here. This one is 14 pounds, and this one is probably 30. So if I put my 30-pound toddler in the front, just leave him like that, even though I'm not particularly comfortable leg positioning. And if I put a car seat up here with my newborn, the biggest issue is going to be walking it outside in real life. So if I'm walking and I come to a curb, I have to exert an insane amount of force to be able to push that up and over. That to me feels kind of difficult. I understand that the one in front can see more, but I'm not sure if you can see from my position, I'm not able to see them or what they're doing. If we're outside, who cares? If we're in a store, I'd like to have them contained. For me, the physics of this makes more sense. We've got our baby down low, and the big one up high. Now it doesn't matter if we switch this positioning around, because in either instance, the children are placed over the back wheels. So when I want to pop it up, it's not difficult. I think the Demi Grow is probably the most misunderstood stroller from NUNA. It's one of my favorites. I'm a huge fan of inline double. They both fold similarly. They're both 27 pounds. They can be very equivalently featured. If you want to buy the bassinet here, it is sold separately. But I think the biggest thing missing from the online videos is showing this and the practicality of the day-to-day. For me as the person pushing the stroller, I care most about that, which is why I think as a single to double, my preference would be this guy just in terms of the physics. And then the lower cost is also awesome. So things to consider.